Hello, my friends. On today's episode, Lucas and I will be discussing morning habits. Listening to natural conversations can help you enhance your English skills in various ways, such as improving your listening abilities, learning new words, phrasal verbs, idioms, and much more. However, before we begin, I would like to humbly request that you give this video a like if you enjoy it. Your feedback will inspire me to create new episodes like this.
Hey Lucas, good morning. How did you sleep?
Hey Daisy, good morning. I slept pretty well, thanks for asking. How about you?
Wait. My friends, did you notice the word slept? Slept is the past tense and past participle of sleep.
I had a great night's sleep, thank you. So, I wanted to ask you, have you developed any new morning habits recently? I've been trying to incorporate some healthy habits into my morning routine.
Incorporate means to include or add something into something else. In this context, it means adding healthy habits to the morning routine.
Actually, I have been trying to do the same thing. I've been trying to start my day with some light exercise like a quick yoga routine or a walk around the block.
That's a great idea. I've been trying to drink a glass of warm lemon water first thing in the morning. I've heard it helps with digestion and boosts your metabolism.
Oh, I've heard about that too. I might have to give it a try. Another habit I've been trying to develop is limiting my phone use in the morning. I find that if I start scrolling through social media or checking my email right away, it sets a negative tone for the rest of my day.
That's a really good point. I've been trying to avoid my phone in the morning too. But it's definitely a challenge. I've also been trying to incorporate gratitude into my morning routine by taking a few minutes to reflect on what I'm thankful for.
That's a great idea. I think it's really important to start the day with a positive mindset. Another habit I've been trying to develop is a consistent sleep schedule. I find that when I go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, I feel more energized and focused throughout the day.
I totally agree. I've been trying to prioritize my sleep as well. Another habit I've been trying to develop is taking a few minutes in the morning to plan out my day. I find that when I have a clear idea of what I need to accomplish, I feel more productive and less stressed.
That's a great idea. I've been trying to do the same thing, but I've been struggling to stick with it. Do you have any tips for staying consistent with morning habits?
Well, one thing that's helped me is making my morning routine enjoyable. For example, I love listening to music while I get ready in the morning, so I make sure to incorporate that into my routine.
That's a really good point. I think it's important to find ways to make your morning routine enjoyable so that it doesn't feel like a chore. Another thing that's helped me is finding an accountability partner. My roommate and I have been trying to develop healthy morning habits together, and it's been really helpful to have someone to check in with and keep each other motivated.
That's a great idea. I think having a support system can make a big difference when it comes to developing healthy habits. And speaking of healthy habits, have you been trying to incorporate any new habits into your daily routine outside of the morning?
Actually, yes. I've been trying to drink more water throughout the day. I've heard it has a ton of health benefits, like improving digestion and boosting your immune system.
That's awesome. I've been trying to do the same thing. I also recently started practicing mindfulness meditation for a few minutes each day, and I've noticed that it's been really helpful for reducing stress and improving my overall well-being.
That's really cool. I've been interested in trying meditation, but I'm not sure where to start. Do you have any tips?
Sure, I'd be happy to help. I actually actually use a meditation app that guides you through different mindfulness exercises. I find it really helpful because it takes the guesswork out of meditation and helps me stay focused.
That sounds like a great resource. I'll have to check it out. Thanks for the tip.
No problem. I think it's really important to prioritize our physical and mental health, and incorporating healthy habits into our daily routines is a great way to do that.
Absolutely. And it's also important to remember that developing healthy habits takes time and consistency. But if we stick with it, we can make positive changes in our lives that will have a lasting impact.
Hey there, my name is Jessica, and I'm a homemaker. I love taking care of my home and family every day. My day usually starts quite early in the morning, as I'm an early riser. As soon as I wake up, I get to work preparing breakfast for my family. I'm a big fan of cooking, and one of our favorite breakfast dishes is pancakes and scrambled eggs. It's always a pleasure to see my family enjoy their meal. Once breakfast is over, I help my children get ready for school by assisting them in getting dressed and making sure they have everything they need for their day ahead. With the kids off to school, I take some time to tidy up the house by cleaning and organizing. Keeping our home clean and comfortable is very important to me. In the late morning, I head to the grocery store to pick up fresh fruits, vegetables, and other essentials for the week. I take pride in planning meals and making sure we have everything we need. Once back home, I unpack the groceries and start preparing lunch. I aim to make something healthy and well-balanced for my family. While the food is cooking, I spend some time watering my plants and tending to my small garden. Watching the plants grow is both satisfying and fulfilling. After lunch, I help my kids with their homework and enjoy the opportunity to bond and help them understand their lessons better. We often have fun studying together. Once they finish their homework, we spend some time playing games or doing creative activities. In the late afternoon, I start planning dinner and enjoy trying new recipes and experimenting in the kitchen. Cooking is like an art form for me, and I love combining different ingredients and creating dishes that my family can enjoy together. The evening is family time, and we like to sit together, share stories about our day, and enjoy dinner. Sometimes we watch a movie or read books before bedtime. I make sure my children are ready for bed, and once they're asleep, I take a moment to relax and reflect on the day. Being a homemaker can be a lot of work, but it's all worth it when I see my family happy and well cared for.
Let's discuss habits. Can you name one habit you admire in people?
Staying organized. It seems like life would be so much easier that way.
True. Are you organized yourself?
Not really. My desk is always a mess.
Why do you think that is?
I guess I don't make time to clean it.
Do you feel it affects your productivity?
Definitely. I waste time looking for stuff.
What usually stops you from fixing it?
I tell myself I'll do it later, but later never comes.
That's procrastination. Would you say that's a habit for you?
Oh, 100%.
Why do you think people procrastinate so much?
Maybe because it's easier than getting started.
Right, starting is often the hardest part. How do you usually feel after you finally start something?
Relieved. It's like, why didn't I just do this earlier?
That's a common feeling. Have you ever tried breaking the procrastination cycle?
A few times I'd make a to-do list, but I wouldn't stick to it.
What do you think makes sticking to it so difficult?
Distractions, mostly. My phone is the biggest one.
So, the phone is both a distraction and a habit. How often do you use it during the day?
Probably too much hours, honestly.
If you could cut down on that time, what would you do instead?
Maybe study more or just focus on other things.
That sounds like a good goal. Have you thought about how you could start?
I don't know. Maybe by setting a time limit on apps.
Setting app limits is a good idea, but do you think you'd stick to those limits?
Honestly, probably not. I'd find a way to ignore the notification.
That's common. So, what do you think might work better for you?
Maybe turning off my phone completely while I study.
That's a stronger step. Do you think you could manage it, though?
I'd like to say yes, but I might still be tempted to turn it back on.
Temptation is natural. What if you left your phone in another room?
That could work as long as I don't keep checking it.
True. Do you feel like the phone is the root of the problem, or is there something else?
It's probably more about me wanting constant distractions.
Why do you think that is?
I guess because studying feels boring or overwhelming sometimes.
That makes sense. Have you ever tried breaking your tasks into smaller pieces?
Not really. I usually just look at the whole thing and feel stuck.
That's normal. What if you set small goals, like studying for just 10 minutes at a time?
10 minutes doesn't sound too bad. I could probably handle that.
Exactly. And once you finish 10 minutes, you might feel motivated to keep going.
I like that idea. It feels less stressful.
That's the power of small habits. Once you start, it gets easier.
So, you're saying I should focus on tiny changes instead of big ones?
Exactly. Habits are like building blocks. Start small and build up over time.
Okay, but how do I make sure I don't give up?
That's where consistency comes in. Even if it's just a little progress, stick with it every day.
Every day sounds tough. What if I miss a day?
Missing a day is okay. Just don't let it turn into 2 days. The key is to bounce back quickly. Exactly. Habits are about progress, not perfection.
I think I can try that. Starting small sounds manageable.
That's the spirit. What's one small habit you want to start today?
I'll try the 10-minute study rule and keep my phone in another room.
That's a great plan. How will you remind yourself to do it?
Maybe I can set a sticky note on my desk or set a timer to start.
Perfect. Visual reminders and timers are great tools. Do you feel confident about starting?
Yeah, I think I can handle it now.
Good. Remember, it's all about small, consistent steps. You've got this.
I see, so even small effort counts as long as I don't quit.